Hey, good morning or good afternoon. This sun is really out now, as you can see. I just wanted to make one other quick video about chapter 4 of the God Delusion. What I'm noticing throughout the chapter, page 134, 145, 146, and a couple other areas that I didn't mark down, is Richard Dawkins is using the phrase consciousness raising. Darwinism raises our consciousness, he says. And also he mentions it in a footnote where he says, I guess it's because I have had my consciousness raised. Anyway, he mentions it a number of times throughout the chapter that believing in Darwinian evolution raises your consciousness. And this is the appeal that he makes. It's essentially an appeal to join his club. This is his purpose of the book, is to get people to join atheism, right? So the step one is all you have to do is believe in Darwinian evolution, adaptive natural selection. If you accept that criteria, step two is declare yourself an atheist. As long as you follow those two steps. But if you accept Darwinian evolution or adaptive natural selection, which even I do to certain degrees, right? Within certain parameters, but then you can't do that and call yourself a theist. Oh, that doesn't work. Or an agnostic. That's breaking the rules. The rules of the club is Darwinian evolution, accepting atheism. Then you get to join the intellectual elite. See, the most common characteristic of the atheist would be, according to all the teachings of Dawkins anyway, would be the intellectual elitism. It's a type of snobbery. That's what it is. And these individuals, most of whom have a very strong command of language, so they're well versed in the logos, they set themselves up as God. I mean, people worship Sam Harris. They think they treat him like a god. And he presents himself as a God with a little g, of course. And you can see it in their demeanor. I'm part of the intellectual elite. My consciousness has been raised because I believe in Darwinian evolution. And my belief in Darwinian evolution is what has raised my consciousness. So Dawkins is setting up his own religion of atheism, promoting it, and looking down on all the other religions. That's essentially what it is. And if you tell that to an atheist, they're going to get very upset, because they're going to say, "Oh no, I looked at all the scientific data and I made my own decisions. And Dawkins had nothing to do with it, or Sam Harris had nothing to do with it." Now, I haven't read Sam Harris's book, Losing Faith or Escape from Faith. I read The Moral Landscape, which was okay. It just, didn't do much for me, but I'll have to read it again maybe. But in any event, doesn't matter. And another gentleman that I met was, he calls himself the, what do you call it? The genetically modified atheist. Has the same demeanor. Oh, he has a very strong sense of intellectual elitism. That's the common denominator. So I just thought I'd throw that out there. And it's a very enticing worldview, because it appeals to pride. It appeals, says you can rise above the crowd. You can be like us. You can join our club. All you've got to do, believe in Darwinian evolution, and what is it called? Adaptive natural selection. Believe in those two things, and then declare yourself an atheist. That's it. Welcome to the club. Come on in. You get to join. You get to be like us. And so there's this huge club of atheists out there, and they have their little gods, Richard Dawkins and Sam Harris, and maybe Christopher Hitchens or other people, or Fry, or it doesn't matter who they are. And they worship them and say, "Oh, they're so great. They strengthened my consciousness. No, they raised my consciousness so much." Well, my consciousness didn't get raised. It got put in the gutter. And, I'm coming from a totally different angle. I was in the miry clay, so. But I'm not going to get into that because I don't want to offend any atheists that may see this. Because I would say to atheists out there, hey, we're in the same boat, man. We're on the same planet. Let's figure it out. Let's talk about it. Have you ever, you might have spent an hour reading Richard Dawkins, but have you ever spent an hour in agonized prayer? Or fasted overnight, seeking God? I'll leave it at that. I'm not going there. Just sticking with the review of the book. This is what he's doing because he's promoting his view throughout the different arguments. He's talking, okay, let's talk about this argument, which is usually a red herring, and then say, oh, by the way, if this person had a raised consciousness, they wouldn't say that. And then he'll go to another argument, oh, by the way, if this is another example of how you can have your consciousness raised by believing in Darwinian evolution. Goes to another argument where he's talking about something totally different and says, yet another example of having your consciousness raised. All you have to do is you get where I'm going. So very interesting to see. That's in chapter 4, very long chapter, almost 50 pages, and it's promoting the theme of raising your consciousness. Great. Good idea, Richard. I'll work on that. Thanks for watching. God bless you. Have a great day. I love you. Take care. Bye now.